Madam Co-Chair. My questions relate to the first and second annual reports. Neither report discusses how many incomplete or inaccurate MAID reports were submitted to Health Canada and how those were corrected. So if any of the officials could comment on how many inaccurate reports were submitted and how that was corrected to ensure accuracy.
I can respond to that. I can't give you an exact number, but I can tell you that every report that comes to us for every case from each provider, if there is information missing or it appears that an answer may be incomplete, then there is communication back to the provider, or in the case where provinces are filing reports with us on behalf of all of their providers, there is a conversation that goes on to make sure that the report is actually completed as required. And I will just note that the overwhelming majority of reports come to us from the provinces on behalf of all of the MAID providers who have been active on a case in the period in question. Those provinces often collect additional information of their own. So there is a quality control check on that data before it actually comes to us. So we're pretty confident.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. That's helpful. But as you note, some data goes directly to Health Canada, not through a provincial body. And the second report that I was reviewing makes reference to an electronic verification system to ensure completeness, but is that it? I mean, I understand that these reports take not more than 10 minutes to complete. So, for example, if the report on its face appears to be complete, and insofar as all of the boxes are ticked, what's the assurance that that report, in fact, is complete and accurate?
Well, look, I think at a certain point in time, you have to have some trust in these providers. And I think that anyone who has dealt with the MAID community of practitioners has been struck by the due diligence that these people exercise. Well, if a report is incomplete, we go back to the person who submitted it.
But how do you know if it's complete or not if there's no additional verification?
Well, we are not out there auditing every single
I'm not asking. Sorry, my time is limited. I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm not suggesting that it would be practicable to audit every single report. But surely there must be some additional check in place to ensure accuracy, given the fact that what you're telling me, as I understand, is that there's nothing.
No, I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you that the reports are checked for completeness.
Maybe I'll ask you a specific question, and that is, are there any on-site reviews, for example, of randomly selected cases across the country? That might be a way.
Not conducted by us, but I mentioned earlier in response to another question that there are oversight mechanisms in provinces, that there are quality review procedures, and that the oversight of MAID is generally, in our opinion, quite good. So we are not concerned at this point, and we don't have reason or evidence to be concerned that there are MAID reports being filed by practitioners that have incomplete or inaccurate or fraudulent data. That is not our observation. And in fact, as I say, because of these additional mechanisms that are in place in provinces, some of which are for quality reviews, some of which are for oversight and compliance, we think the system is working pretty well. And I would say also that it takes more than 10 minutes to respond, and the new data sets will be considerably more complex and require more time.
But again, not all of the reporting is going through provincial bodies.
That's correct. About a small proportion of the total number of MAID cases comes to us. Well, it would be represent probably less than 10% of all MAID cases in Canada.
Now, with respect to those cases that are being submitted directly to Health Canada, is there any mechanism in place to ensure that federally collected monitoring data in respect of those cases is being shared with local enforcement agencies as the regulations permit?
30 Mr. Cooper, seconds. I think you asked me this question last year, and I think I indicated at that time that enforcement is not the job of the federal government, and it's not the role of the monitoring system. So in the rare occasion or hypothetical occasion, if there was some reason to believe that the report was incomplete, we would interact with the person who provided the report. But we do not have the kind of data